In April of 2023, I made a level editor, and it was very useful at that time. Now I am making a similar game, so the easy solution should be to reuse the tool I built at that time to make the new level for this game. In the first place, why would you make a level editor for your game? There are hundreds of level editors, and there are many that are even free. Take for example, LDTK or Level Design Toolkit. I use it a little bit, and it's a very powerful tool, and the best part is that it's free. But with all the external level editors, there is still one thing that prevents me from fully adopting external tools. Let me explain. In the past, there were many games that had a level editor built inside. The primary advantage of that is that you can edit and test your game with zero delay. There is no need to switch to another tool, edit the level, and then import the level again back. You can adjust things on the fly, so there is little time lost while making levels. So as I mentioned in another video, I was looking to reuse the old level editor, but actually I'm not able to do so. After using my lessons learned from that editor, I found that so many things are linked deeply with the game, so it requires to remove and redo so many things, so I cannot reuse the code. So I need to make a new level editor with no dependencies. What should be the ideal editor then?
Welcome back! If you are new to the channel, I make games, and you can download many of my games from the link in the description below.
First, be able to embed it with any of my new games, so I can edit any level with ease. Second, be as independent from the game code as possible, so it can be reused with this in mind. I created a separate data structure for my game. Third, enhance the editor controls. In the last Mob Witness game, I had all the sprites, areas, triggers, and much more into one list. It was very difficult to keep track of things, and I couldn't make groups of items and have different layers. Everything was rendered in one layer, and that made the game very difficult to read. For example, if you take a look at this obstacle, there are two areas to get cover from bullet attacks, one on each side. So for every sprite like this, I had to create the other areas to hide. If I could group those three items together, I would have saved a lot of time. Another example is the light on the wall. It uses 4 sprites, one for the front, one on each side to add depth, and one more for the illumination. So I had to create 4 sprites each time, and if I wanted to move the location of a light, I had to move all those 4 sprites. So grouping of sprites is something that I need to make more complex objects. And because everything was in the same layer, the list of sprites was very long. It was very difficult to find things that I wanted to adjust. Or for example, if I wanted to select and move all objects of certain type, I was not able to do that. So that required me to update each sprite by hand, wasting many more hours. Fourth, triggers, hiding areas, bullet blocking areas, collision boxes, spawn points, and more. All the different areas in the game were fits. What if I want to implement something new? I will have to program those new areas somehow and add more hard-coding areas into the editor. So I need a flexible defined areas and be able to rotate them too. So this flexible approach will allow me to set, for example, traps or any other things that I can imagine without having to modify the map editor. Fifth, centralized color management. For example, each sprite of the last Mob Witness can use different colors, even lights. But when I wanted to change a group of lights, I had to do one by one. If I could have central location with all the colors in the game per object type, I could apply certain color to lights, and then I only need to change it in one place. And finally, layers and depth control. So I could reorder and have different elements in different layers, allowing me to easily group things by type or in any other way. I could have all the collision elements in one layer, lights in another, background in another, and so on. So I could hide or deactivate any layer at any time. Sometimes I wanted to hide some stuff so I could focus on other details. So with this in mind, I started this new level editor where the data is divided into worlds, and each world can have different levels or rooms. Each one can be moved as desired to connect each one with the rest of the map, with a central location to handle colors, depths, and layers. Areas like collision areas, spawn areas, and more can be dynamically created, and I can also group sprites to form object groups, and each part can be added into different layers as needed. So there is a lot of flexibility in this design. This week not much is working yet, but it is taking shape now. I should be able to finish most of it in about 2 weeks, and I spent most of the time designing this new level editor, but still need a little bit more time to add custom parameters so I can, for example, create specific spawn points or enemies, but still need a little bit more time to add custom parameters so I can, for example, create specific spawn points of enemies. And that's it for today. If you want to support my work, please click like and subscribe and click on the notification bell so you do not miss my next update. Thank you so much for watching my journey. See you next week.